Hey guys, Ashley here, also known as the HB fan. I am back today with my first rant in probably over a year. And I thought since I promised you guys a rant, let me just give it to y'all. I'm going to be talking about two things today in one big video just to get it over with. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is how I was on TikTok and I feel like we need to talk about the Elena Gilbert Blazers. We need to talk about the people who really are hell bent on giving Elena this this double standard and trying to throw things at people who don't like her or you know so we're gonna talk about that too, and then the next thing I want to talk about is we're gonna dive into the pick me characters that I want to talk about, which are going to be male and female characters. I feel like we focus way too much on the female side and not the male side when there are plenty of male pick me characters. And I want to talk about Mouth for one tree hill because I think Mouth is the epitome of a pick me character. So let's talk about Elena first. I was on TikTok and I saw this video and this girl saying that if you dislike Elena, you're a misogynist. And I just find it really funny that if you're somebody and you don't like a female character, people automatically just assume that you're sexist, misogynist, or that you don't like them. Now listen, I understand that Elena gets a lot of hate from the fandom, and I do think it is a tad bit like them dragging it half the time. Like people hate her for every single thing. I don't hate Elena. I honestly really love Nina. I love Nina Dobrev. I think Nina Dobrev did what the script wanted her to do with the character, which wasn't much, and I feel like she did it anyway. I feel like she just did it, and I feel like she played the character to how they wanted her to be portrayed, and she did it. Nina did an excellent job portraying those characters. Elena, Catherine, Amara, I believe she portrays so many characters. And she did a great job. For her to be like 22 years old and to do that so well as she did, amazing. It should be a clap. It should be an applause. I am not going to sit here and give Elena an out just because she's been through things. These are the same people who would spit you to give Elena an out, but will go on TikTok and bash Peyton to no end. Peyton Sawyer to me is one of the most overhated characters I have ever witnessed. People hate her for stupid shit, in my opinion. People would sit here and hate Peyton and try to act like Brooke is this victim when she's far from it. Far from it. I talked about that since I talked about how Brooke is not a victim until my face turns blue. So expect once she hill rants once I binge the show again. I just think that's what's going what I said before in my where I did my channel update, that I think what's best is to just talk about Team Drama rants once I get done binging the show. I'm taking each show one day at a time. I'm watching Vampire Diaries right now, and I'm on season 3. I'm almost done season 3. So once I get done watching season 3 of Vampire Diaries, I'm going to do a season retrospective for all 3 seasons, and then give out any rants I feel like I have up here. So just want to say that one more time so people don't get confused on why I'm not making any rants. I just feel like what's easier is just to watch the shows and then make rants. I think that's just way easier. And if something happens to come to my mind, I'll talk about it. So back to Elena. I just feel like it's funny that people want to give Elena an out because she's been through things, but y'all want to bash characters like Peyton, Lucas, um, any other character who might have gone through it, Emma, Craig, Ellie, I can name so many. Like, y'all are ready to bash them to no end, but when it's a character that y'all like, y'all want to try to make them be this victim all the time, and Elena is far from that. Now, I understand that Elena was only 17 years old when she had to endure all of the things that she endured. She lost her parents very young. She found out she was adopted. Her birth mother died. Her birth father died. Her aunt died right in front of her. I understand all of this stuff. The love of her life is a vampire who can't control himself half the time. Talk about Stefan. She fell in love with Damon, a vampire psychopath, a serial rapist. She fell in love with him. And yes, I did say that out loud. I don't care what any of the Damon fans think or the Elena fans think. I said it out loud. Deal with it. I understand all of that. I get it. That Stefan and Damon came into town because she looked just like Catherine, and they had to figure out how the hell is Catherine here when they thought she died in 18 something something. I understand all of that. I get it. I don't want people to sit here and think that I don't get it, because I totally do. I do. But we're not about to sit here and act like Elena did not have her annoying moments. I feel like I personally liked Elena a lot, and I talked about this before previously when I said I think she was a very weak protagonist. I liked Elena a lot in the first two seasons because it really felt like the writers had potentially, she had a storyline for herself. Like, yes, she was with Stephanie, yes, she had her friends, but Elena also had her own storyline. Her missing her parents, her battling with her grief, her finding out that she was adopted, finding out that she's a doppelganger, finding out that she is the cure to stopping the curse, the curse in the moon. I'm sorry, for the sun and moon curse. Sorry. Like, I feel like season 2 was her best as a character to me. I love her in season 2 a lot as a character. Nina really did her big one in season 2. I just feel like after that, her sole purpose was just being in the middle between Stefan and Damon. That really was it. Because then after season 3, they just made her whole character obsessed with Damon. Literally. But we're not about to sit here and act like Elena didn't have her annoying moments, or that she didn't have her self-centered moments, or that she didn't have her selfish moments. Like, that's just completely absurd to sit here and to not think that. Now, what I could understand is that people did make things about her, and I feel like on some extent that did make her self-centered. We gotta protect Elena. We gotta keep Elena safe. I think that went to her head, and it made her a little self-centered to the point now that everything has to be about her. She had a way of making things about her that weren't about her. And if y'all want some examples, here are some that I'm about to say right in my head. The scene in season 5 when when Stefan killed, damn, what was his name? He was his doppelganger, he looked just like him. I can't remember his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Silas. Okay, when Stefan killed Silas, and then it was like, did it work? Did it conquer all your grief? Did it conquer all your revenge? And Stefan asked her, why is this so important to her? He talked about, I was having the best time of my life while you were stuck in the tomb, grasping onto the last bit of hope that you had. It's like, how did this turn to Stefan's revenge, and him wanting his revenge, and him feeling completely betrayed by the fact that someone who he still calls a friend, but still loves her, and his brother did not care about where he was. How did this turn into you having the best summer of your life with Damon? That was extremely self-centered. She made that all about her to me. And I just feel like, how did this turn to be about you? This is about how I'm feeling, not about you. Like, what's another one? Um, Damn, some of the shit is hard to think off the top of my head. Oh, in season 2, the masquerade episode. Even though I do like Elena a lot, season 2, she tried to make that whole thing about her after they all told her to stay out of it. They kept her out of the way because they didn't want her to get hurt, and she made it about her anyway. She showed up there anyway to make it about her. To say, oh, I don't want anyone to get hurt because of me. Then why are you here? Why are you inserting yourself into this if you don't want anyone to get hurt? This isn't just about you. This is not just about you getting hurt. Everyone has their gripes for Catherine. Everyone wants to get a piece of Catherine's flesh. It's not just about you, Elena. How you gonna sit here and say, I don't want anyone to get hurt because of me, but yet you're inserting yourself, babe? You're constantly inserting yourself. So, like, explain that to me so I can understand, because the math ain't math then. Like, and that too, she would constantly insert herself into things that she did not need to insert herself in. Like, I could understand a little bit sometimes. Like, if she's gonna help, then yeah, I could understand that. But half the time, She was not helping. She was just inserting herself to be saved. Like, again, with the masquerade ball. Why would you insert yourself just for you to end up being kidnapped? All because you didn't listen. And I don't want to hear anyone coming in these comments saying anything, because if Elena would probably have stayed home, they probably would have not found her there. All she had to do was just stay out of it, and she couldn't stay out of it. That's all she had to do. In season 3, when uh when she talked Rick into taking her up to the mountains to find Stefan, because she thinks Stefan would be there because the moon's come out at the. I said, oh my god. It was a full moon that night, so all the werewolves and hybrids had to be out. So she just assumed that Stefan would be in the mountains with Klaus, because Klaus is half hybrid. Even though Klaus can channel his changing, Klaus doesn't have to change to a werewolf because he already channeled it. He can control that part of himself. She talked Rick into doing that. Here we go again, inserting herself. Listen, I don't agree with Damon controlling her, but I do feel like there are certain moments where it's like, can you be just a tad bit more smarter? Like, why are you trying to insert yourself in a vampire werewolf hunt when you could easily get hurt? Like, you can easily get hurt. I just don't understand. I think sometimes it's just hard for me to understand why she just does certain things to me. Like, in season 2, I don't understand why Damon, out of anybody Damon could have asked to watch Rose, why would he ask Elena to watch her? And the fact that Stefan wasn't mad or didn't chew his head off for putting Elena in that type of predicament is just like crazy. Damon knew that Rose could have killed her and he didn't care as long as he didn't have to deal with it. Like, what? Like, I just don't understand that. But that pissed me off. The fact that Elena didn't run out the door when the door was open, it was just like, okay, Elena. But yeah, Elena had her moments where she constantly inserts herself. I'm not gonna go down every single moment that she does. If you watch the show, Elena constantly inserts herself into plans and all types of stuff to me. Like, there are moments where she is helping. Like in season 1, I feel like she helped a lot with the plans. Like, when she helped Damon get into the house to get Stefan out because the people kidnapped him, or when the man was, it was the dude disguising as a pizza delivery dude. She helped Damon and Stefan in the school, with the plan. So like, Elena had her moments where she was helping, but I feel like around like seasons like 3, 4, 5-ish, she just inserted herself in shit, and then she would have to be saved. Like, it was just kind of like stupid and dumb. It's like how are you a vampire and you still can't get your way out of shit? Like, I don't get it. I really don't. Like, it's like she doesn't even try. I don't get it. It's really dumb. It's annoying. Just, okay. So now that we have discussed her constantly inserting herself and her having her self-centered moments, like I said, I'm not gonna go down every single time she was self-centered. Just look it up for yourself. There's a lot of videos on YouTube when people making videos about every time Elena made everything about herself. So go ahead and watch it. I want to talk about her being a little self-centered. I'm sorry. I want to talk about Elena being a little bit a hypocrite, because I feel like no one ever calls out her hypocrisy in the show to me. So that's about all the times to me where I feel like Elena was a massive hypocrite. So, boom. Y'all remember in season 4 when she got mad at Stefan for turning people into vampires so German could kill them to get the cure? She tried to do the exact same thing with Cole, and no one better than I. No one chewed off her head when she did the exact same thing. I thought it was just extremely hypocritical how she got mad at Stefan for doing what she did episodes right after. Crazy to me. Insane. Absolutely diabolically insane. Probably not a word, but it was insane to me. Another moment to me, sorry, my neck itching, is when basically, oh my god, when she started to fall for Damon in season 4, Elena was really just she was just unbearable to me as a character at that point. When she started to fall for Damon, like when she basically tried to tell Caroline in the episode that Caroline was like, well, he's probably being nice to you because he thinks that you're gonna sleep with him. She said maybe I did, and she was like, what? And but before that, she was like, Caroline was like, I can't imagine being in this tub. You know how many sluts Damon had in this tub with them. And Elena was like, what was it about him that made you hop in bed with him the first time you met him? Like, whoa. First of all, Victor Bayman in hypocrisy because you jumped his bones the first time that you could too. You didn't care about Steph's feelings. You didn't care about anyone who he hurts feelings. You automatically just jumped his bones. So don't try to sit here and tell Caroline that she's this slut and easy because she hopped right in bed with him, even though he compelled her and was pretty much taking advantage of her. But you want to sit here and you want to talk about she's a slut and easy, like I just thought it was just a raging hypocrisy to me that she could say something like that to her own friend. She sat there and she told Damon that she did not care about Bonnie, straight up in his face in season 4, when they were trying to figure out when the other side was collapsing and every ghost is coming back from the other side. Damon told her, he said, go get Bonnie and keep her safe. She said, but I don't care about Bonnie. But no, everyone want to sit here and say that she was just selfless all the time. No, she wasn't. Elena had her selfish moments too, which we're gonna get to as well. Like, y'all not gonna sit here and tell me that she didn't have her hypocrisy moments. Like, there's so many moments where Elena was like a raging hypocrite, but no one ever talks about it. Like, her falling for Damon is major hypocrisy. The fact that she's always willing to check someone else about their behavior but never wants to look into the mirror, major hypocrisy. Like, it's crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. The fact that she got on, and honestly, what's hypocrisy is that she got on Jeremy's ass for wanting to be with Vicky, even though Jeremy didn't know that Vicky was a vampire, but she knew, and she knew why they couldn't be together. She not long after that, I can't talk. Not long after that, Damon snapped Jeremy's neck right in front of her, and she got with Damon, knowing the shit that he did. So you want to sit here and say Vicky ain't good for him, and this and all that, and I ain't good for him, this and all that. You jumped Damon's bones and got with this man and fell in love with this man and didn't care about anyone else. You didn't care about your loyalty to anybody else. So like, it's so insane to me. It's insane. Completely insane. So yeah, Elena has a lot of her hypocrisy moments. Sorry, drink break. The next thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about her being selfish sometimes. Did I talk about? I know I talked about. Okay, so I talked about her being self-centered. I talked about her trying to. Why can I not talk? It's been a minute, so I'm botching. Her inserting herself. So we talked about her being self-centered, her inserting herself. We talked about her hypocrisy. Let's talk about her being selfish sometimes. Let's talk about how sometimes she's a bad friend. So selfish. Elena did have her selfish moments sometimes. Like, I feel like the only time to me where I honestly could feel like that she was not selfish. Well, actually, there's a lot of plenty of moments where she wasn't selfish. I feel like her most selfless to me was probably in seasons 1 and 2. Elena really felt like her most selfless to me in seasons 1 and 2. Well, we get to like seasons 3 and like 4 and 5. Well, not really 5, because by like season 5 and 6, she wasn't even a character anymore. Like, she didn't matter. So, by season, let's just say like by 3 and 4, she would have a way of feeling like she's being selfless, but it's just her being a martyr. Like, oh, I'm doing this because I want to be look like a good person. But honestly, it's just self. It's just her being selfish. Okay, case in point, when basically when she told Damon that she did not care about Bonnie. Like she don't care about giving Bonnie an apology. She don't care about pretty much warning Bonnie about the other side coming down. Like it's just very selfish. You're more concerned about Catherine, someone who's not even here, over your friend. Wow, crazy. She did not apologize for almost killing Bonnie. She didn't apologize to anybody. Even Caroline, when Caroline asked her, did she really mean all those things? She looked Caroline dead in the face and said that if you want an apology, you're not going to get one. Crazy. How she got, how she got information out of Rebecca, and then she stabbed Rebecca in the back. And then season 4 want to act confused while Rebecca got beef with her. Like, what? You try to use me for information, and once you got the information, you turned on me. Like, stop trying to act like, stop trying to be a martyr every time you do something to make yourself look like a good person. When just admit that you were being selfish and trying to get your own gain out of it. Like, just admit it. Like, come on. It would always be little shit like that she would do that'd be like, oh my god, I'm gonna be the one who has too much humanity. I gotta turn it off. Like, it's like, girl, just admit that you did it for your own personal gain. Like, ugh, that shit irritates me when she try to do shit and act like she's this martyr. Or like when, maybe that's not a good example because she didn't know Damon. She didn't know that her and Damon had a sour bond at that point in time. So I won't use that. I was gonna use the example when she killed that man, but she only did it because Damon told her to. But it was like no one knew that she had a sour bond. So even the audience was confused. Like, why did she listen to Damon if they don't have a sour bond? It was just like, okay, she just did it. Or how about the fact when her and Damon she decided to feed off Damon to keep the blood down because she didn't want to disappoint Stefan that the animal blood wasn't, she couldn't hold it down. She sat there in Stefan's face and tried to act like he was crazy for having this reaction. Like, how selfish can you be to think that I'm acting crazy for having a reaction to you sharing blood with my brother, who you have confusing attraction feelings for? Like, what? You're either delusional for thinking that I'm acting for thinking that my reaction is stupid. Like, I feel like Elena was just selfish. Like, I don't know what happened around like seasons 3 or 4. Elena became a total different character to the point where it was just insane to me. Like, people talk about how she used Damon to compel Jeremy into leaving town in season 3. And honestly, I feel like Elena did the best thing for Jeremy. I'm not gonna hate Elena for doing what she had to do for her sibling because she did what she had to do. She had to get Jeremy away. To me, I feel like what's stupid to me is that she stayed and Jeremy had to leave. You're a liability too. At least Jeremy can use a crossbow. I'll give him that. You don't know how to use any weapons. That's the problem too. She was used to being caught a little too much for me. It's like, learn how to use a weapon. Learn how to use something. And I get it. Stefan was a protective boyfriend, which I clocked that. Period. We love us a protective babe. But at the end of the day, Elena needs to learn how to use something. A weapon. Something. Something. Because her being babied and her being coddled, it was getting kind of annoying. Like, really, really annoying. Like, the fact in season 3 when Damon and Stefan told her to not talk to Elijah because he was just going. Because when she lied to Elijah, he trapped her down in that hole to purposely get saved because she didn't listen. And then, oh my god, like, do y'all see what I'm talking about? Like, she would constantly insert herself into things and make things worse. And then it was like she wouldn't really be like sorry for it. Like, I don't know how to. I don't like. If you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. Like, That's just how I feel personally. If someone is, especially, oh my gosh, what makes you think you're gonna have a decent conversation with someone who honestly is on a revenge path? Elijah was clearly on a revenge path. Elena, you didn't think it was weird that out of all the places he want to talk to you at, he want to talk to you in the woods? If it's that important, talk to me in a coffee. Talk to me at a coffee shop. Talk to me outside my house. What were we all the way in the woods for? Like her attention span was really bad for somebody. You would think her attention span would be a little bit better for someone who got all these supernaturals around. You would think it would be better. Her attention span was very, very terrible, in my opinion. Very, very terrible. So now we're talking about her being selfish. Let's talk about her being a bad friend sometimes. I think Elena was a bad friend sometimes. Like, I think she really didn't care about her friends' feelings sometimes. Like, especially when it comes to the Damon thing, I'm gonna constantly bring it back to Damon because the fact that she got with Damon, knowing all of the horrible shit he did, is insane to me. He killed your brother. You didn't care about how Jeremy felt. He basically turned your birth mother into a vampire. Don't care about that. Um, he did horrible stuff to Caroline. You don't care about that. He turned Bonnie's He turned Bonnie's mother into a vampire. You really don't care about that. He, um, in that situation, I'm not gonna give his limit all on him because the situation in season one where Bonnie and her grandmother opened up the cave or opened up the tomb where all the other vampires are at. I feel like everyone is to blame because Bonnie and her grandmother didn't want to do it, but Damon, Steph, and Elena kind of talked them into doing it because they convinced them that it would be like an in and out thing, but it didn't turn into an in and out thing. Elena went in there, got trapped. Stephen went in there, couldn't come out, and then Bonnie and her grandmother both had to find a way to come out to do it. After Bonnie's grandmother said that once you go in, you can't come out once you're supernatural. Damon went. Damon was the only one who's supposed to go in. But once Damon stayed in there too long, Stefan went in, and then Elena went in to go look for Stefan. And then no, actually, hold on. Elena went in with Damon, and then Damon left her by herself. Well, a whole bunch of hungry vampires left her by herself. Then Stefan went in to go get Elena. I had it wrong. He went to go get Elena. Elena came out. Stefan went to go get Damon because Stefan told her to get out. He went to go get Damon. Only to find out that Captain wasn't in there. So Damon and her throwing a temper tantrum. So Bonnie and her grandmother try to keep it open just a little bit longer to get them out. Once they get them out, Bonnie's grandmother dies from the spell. It was too strong and her grandmother couldn't do it. I feel like everyone is to blame. Bonnie too, because, and I'm going to talk about this. It is something I was going to talk about when I get to season one, when I talk about all the characters. I was going to talk about Bonnie. Is that for Bonnie to come back and be like, oh, well, I'm not fucking with you right now. It's like, you could have said no. You don't owe Damon anything. Like, I feel like the reason why she did it is because it was Stefan. But you don't owe Damon nothing. After all the pain and everything everyone had to endure, you don't owe him anything. You could have said no. You said yes. You could have said no. No one pressured you into saying yes, babe. So when you try to give Elena the cold shoulder, that to me was just a little fake because you could have said no. If you didn't want to help us, you could have said no. Then we would just have to live with it. Period. Point blank. You just would have had to live with it. So for Elena to end up with Damon after all the horrible shit he done, there's a lot more, but I'm not going through every single thing. If you watch the show, you know. For Elena to fall for him, I feel like that's what just makes her a terrible friend. Like a horrible friend. Like, a lot of the shit that she was saying about Caroline when she had her humanity off, like, I understand that I feel like the humanity thing is like, you don't give a shit attitude, so you're just saying things to hurt people. I get that. But the fact that when she turned it back on, she didn't want to apologize to anybody, not Caroline, not Bonnie, not Matt. She didn't want to apologize to nobody. She didn't think no one deserved an apology because she was grieving. Like, it's just insane to me. Like, insane. Or in season 5, when her and Caroline got into that big fight about the cute black boy Jesse, when Elena killed him because the the professor dude injected him with Ripper blood, turning him into a vampire. He tried to kill Damon, and Elena killed him. And Caroline was talking about the Elena would have given Jesse a chance. The Elena would have tried to find a way to help him, not kill him. And I agree with that. Season 1 and 2 Elena, and we even said on some extent season 3 Elena would have tried to help the guy Jesse out. She instantly just killed him because Damon told her to. Like, her and Damon, that relationship in itself, that is a whole video. But I definitely understand what Caroline was talking about. She talked about he had to be killed, Caroline. There was no other way. He was a bad guy. Like she said, not more bad than the person that you're inviting into your bed every single day. She talked about, oh, well, just tell me how you really feel. It's like, I am telling you how I really feel. I don't like Damon. I don't like y'all together. So the more and more you keep talking to him about me, the more and more I'm going to drag him. And if you don't like that, get the fuck away from me. Like, I feel like that was the epitome of how it was. Caroline did not like him. Caroline had valid reasons for not liking him. And Elena just wanted her to shut up and support the relationship. But I don't like him. I'm not going to support this relationship. So it's just stuff like that to me that just shows me that Elena was like very selfish. And you know, people want to talk about, you know, it's like people on TikTok who you talk about, oh, she was selfish, but she did this and that and that and that. Yay. Okay, that's still selfish, like the whole Bonnie thing. But Bonnie was dead in season 5. On some extent, you could say everyone was being selfish. No one noticed that she was gone. No one gave a fuck that she was. No one thought it was weird that college is starting and yet Bonnie is still not here. She's still on vacation with her father. Did anyone see Bonnie leave for vacation with her dad? Did anyone try to call Bonnie when she was on vacation with her dad? So some extent, it's not even just Elena, it's Caroline, it's Damon, it's Matt, it's everyone who we thought gave a fuck about her but didn't even try to call her. And on some extent, it's Jeremy's fault too, because Jeremy could have had just been told them instead of just waiting and waiting and waiting until what he thought would have been the best time to say something. Anytime is better than saying nothing. So for Elena, it's everybody. It's not even just Elena. It's everyone to me because Bonnie was friends with all of them. So for all of them to not notice that nothing was wrong, I feel like on some extent that is selfish. So you don't have to sit here and tell me just because she was crying and sad when she found out doesn't make her any less selfish. Because just like Stefan, her and Damon did not care about where Stefan was. They didn't care that he was suffering and that he was trying to grasp onto his last bit of hope while he was drowning to death, and he had to basically get out of that tomb. He had to get out of there all by himself and feed for himself. They don't even care about that. So to some extent, that is selfish. Now that I have discussed every single thing, I hope people with a brain cell could really understand my beef with Elena sometimes. I don't hate Elena. I don't hate her and I don't dislike her. She's kind of in the middle for me where it's like black and white. Like she has her moments where I can like her and where I don't like her. But I really just feel like as a character, she really had her annoying moments, and I feel like what held her back was the lack of character development. Turning her into a vampire made her worse. It did not make her better. It made her worse. Elena suffered from bad character writing, to me, in my opinion. And you try to throw the misogynistic and sexist card every time someone says they don't have every time someone has a valid reason for not liking her, it makes you look delusional. Stop trying to use the sexist and misogynistic card every time someone does not like a character. It's the same thing too with Serena. It's, oh my God. Oh my God. You won't believe a lot of people who say, if you hate Serena, you're a misogynist. If you hate Serena, you're a sexist. As if people cannot have a valid reason for not liking the bitch. Are you kidding me? I don't have to like no character, even if I feel like I understand why they are the way they are. Doesn't mean I have to like them. To some extent, when it comes to Gossip Girl, a lot of the characters are designed to be unlikable, but you like them anyway for some weird reason. I love Blair, even though a lot of Blair's traits are unlikable. In real life, if this is real life, you would not hang out with anyone that's like those characters in real life. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. I couldn't hang out with a girl like Blair, especially if it's Blair's vindictive and jealous side. I couldn't hang out with Blair. But if it's Blair's get money, um, the fashion icon, her attitude, everything, I would fuck with that side of Blair. But if it's the jealous side, vindictive side, I couldn't fuck with that side of Blair. Serena, I probably couldn't fuck with her at all because she's too self-centered for me. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of those characters are not designed to be likable, but yet we like them anyway. So it's like that with a whole bunch of characters. They're not designed to be likable, but yet you like them anyway. So stop trying to sit here and just give a character out because, and I think a lot of it just comes from the fact that they're female characters. Like, this is a male character doing half the shit these female characters do. Y'all would not be giving them so much grace, and I know I'm right. So that was the Elena side of this rant. Eat it, live with it, drink it, soak it. I don't care what you do. These are facts. Let's get on to Mouth McFarlane. I think that's his name, Mouth McFarlane. I think that's his last name, One Tree Hill. Let's talk about Mouth. Mouth is a character that I don't really talk about when I talk about One Tree Hill, but I think now it is time to talk about Mouth. Mouth is, can I call Mouth a nerd? I guess Mouth is a nerd, even though he's friends with a lot of popular kids in the show. Mouth, hold on real quick, I got a text. Um, I would describe Mouth as a nerd, even though he's friends with a lot of popular kids. Mouth, I really liked him a lot in season one. He was kind of like the side character. He was adorable. He was cute. And then I feel like after like season one, we get to like seasons two and onward. I really started to dislike Mouth. Mouth is the epitome of the nice guy who feels like he deserves the girl who was a 10. Mouth went for girls like Brooke, Rachel, and Shelly because he thought they were 10s and because he thought he could save them. And I think that is what to me makes him like a pick me to me, is that he thought he could fix them because they were broken and they had these insecurities. Like, but I think a lot of it just came from him being like a creep. Like the fact that he felt like he deserved to be with a girl who was a 10. Like, what did he really like about Brooke outside the fact that she was beautiful and that she was a 10? Like, his speech about Brooke in season two was, I thought it was very sweet. Him saying that she is a great friend. I do think Brooke has her moments when she is a great friend. She is not a great friend all the time, but she has her moments when she is a great friend. But when you see it, and this is why I say Mom should have known that Brooke was a girl who had insecurities, because the fact that she was willing to give a guy like Felix a chance, but not him a chance, should have let him know that she is someone who has deep rooted insecurities. Because what you mean you gonna sit here and tell me that you gonna give a guy, you gonna try to have a real relationship with a guy that you just having friends benefits with? Okay, like that's gonna work. Like that should have been more clearing enough for him. But nope. He still wanna save her. He still wanna try to fix her. Let me fix her insecurities because she's a 10 and I deserve to be with a 10. Like he was just weird to me for the fact that he felt like he deserved to be with a 10 because he was so nice and patient and that he was there all the time for the girls. Like that's what he gives me. Oh, I deserve a chance because I'm always helping you out. Like what? The Rachel one. I think the Rachel one might be his most creepiest because the way he pursued Rachel to no end to me is just like, dude, get a grip. Like, the first time he met Rachel, he instantly became a simp. Trying to do things for her, thinking that she's pretty and thinking that he deserves to be with a 10. Like, he instantly fell for Rachel. Like, when, in the episode, when it was the rain episode, they spent the whole they spent the whole day together. I always skip the parts in the episode because I personally just don't care. Like, I love Rachel as a character. I think Rachel as a character is really overhated. I just did not care for her mom because they're never going to be a couple. So it's just like, what is the point of trying to build this up? It's never going to happen. She's never going to see Mouth the way that he see her. Like, the fact that because Rachel was telling him her whole backstory on how she had insecurities and how her parents don't really care about her. They always travel a lot, so she's always by herself, and how she's been to multiple schools, like, and how she was overweight. The fact that once Rachel told him all this stuff, he just felt like, oh, we have to be together now. I have to be her Prince Charming because she told me all these things. It's like, he's such a creep. What kind of person thinks like that? What kind of person just thinks like, oh, because she told me all this stuff, I'm meant to be her Prince Charming? It's like, who thinks like that? Someone who is weird. I think Mouth was very weird. So when Brooke was telling him, oh, she's just using you so you do stuff for her, it's like, it's not the pot calling the kettle black. Don't you use him all the time? Aren't you always asking him, move my furniture, do this, do that, do it, yin and yang? Like he said, like you, how you always telling me I need to move your furniture? Like, and I think that too, I feel like a lot of that is on Mouth because you do all of these favors for them thinking that eventually you're going to have a chance when you're never going to have a chance. Like, I don't know, Mouth was just so weird to me. Like, the fact that he instantly came to Rachel's defense when he barely knew her, like, even though the fact that Brooke took it to the lengths that she took it with the body shaming, I can understand that he did take up for her because it seemed like it was not a big deal for everyone else. I think everybody else just kind of like passed it over as like a joke, or they're both being petty to each other, so it's like just let them have their petty fight. No, for Mouth to be like, this is disgusting, and that she had body dysmorphia issues her whole life, and so for you to do this is very disgusting. It's very disgusting. It's very petty because you don't even have a legitimate reason for not liking this girl. You're just being a hater. She was a hater right off the bat. But I'm gonna say that when I get to my tree hill. I'm gonna say that. But the fact that Mom just instantly thought that he needed to save her, and I feel like when he found about the Cooper stuff, like the episode when he told Rachel that he wanted to be with her and he had the flowers and he saw Cooper and when he walked away, I feel like that did break his heart. But it's like, Mouth, you were delusional because what indication did you ever think that she ever felt the same way about you? Like, all the pretty girls want to be your friend. They never want to be your girlfriend. And I feel like that hurt his ego a little bit. Because when you're a guy in high school, I think people kind of expect things from you. They expect you to get laid. They expect you to have a girlfriend. So I feel like a little bit with Mouth, I think his ego was just kind of bruised by the fact that he was friends with all of these girls, and yet there's no girl chasing him. He does all the chasing, and yet no girls chase him. So I think to me it was just like his ego being a little bit bruised. Like, when in season 3, when he asked her, why didn't you ever tell me about Cooper? She was like, Mom, you don't want to be with someone like me. I'm damaged. Like, how many times she got to tell you? Like, she got to figure her own shit out. You don't want to be with a girl like Rachel. Like, even though Rachel is very beautiful, that's just the outside exterior. Inside, it is a very lonely, insecure girl who uses sex and her beauty and charm as a way to cover up her insecurities. And it's like, you don't need someone like that. Because if they can't even figure out, if she can't even figure out what her own problems are, you're not gonna be able to fix her by loving her. That's just not gonna work. So she kissed him in the episode when she told him about the time capsule, and that was pretty much like the end of the situation. Like, cause right after that, he found out about Uncle Cooper, and then she got drunk at the wedding, and that was pretty much it. And then in season 4, they was like cool or whatever. Like, so That's pretty much the end of it. But again, I feel like out of all the girls, he really pursued Rachel the hardest because I don't know. I think he was just really too. He was like really obsessed to me, and I think that's just what makes Mouth like a really big, like a big pick me is how obsessed he gets, and how he thinks he needs to be chased, and how he thinks he deserves a 10, and that once they tell him these deep rooted issues that they have, that he's entitled to fix them and save them. Like, pick me. Like, just pick me. Let's get on to Shelly. This one gonna be quick because him and Shelly didn't have their first interaction until like episode 15. And he did have a girlfriend, Erica, in season two. I don't understand why the writers wrote her out. Why they wrote her out because I feel like Erica and Gigi saw Mouth for who he was and they liked him for who he was. But it really just felt like I do feel like he liked Erica. But Gigi, it felt like to me he really did not like Gigi out like that. Um, or the other girl too that he got with. I guess we can talk about that too. Shelly. We're gonna make this one short and sweet. As soon as again, just like Brooke and just like Rachel, once these girls tell him a sob story, I hate to say a sob story because it's something I'm making fun of their issues, but I'm not. I'm trying to make it also like funny at the same time. I feel like once they tell Mouth a backstory of sorts, he automatically thinks he's entitled to save them. It's so weird to me that he thinks that way. Like, what makes you think you're entitled to save these girls? Like, you guys had one conversation. Why are you so obsessed with her? He instantly became obsessed with Shelly after they had that one conversation. Instantly. And then they snuck around for a little bit. And then after that, her character disappeared. And then when she came back, they hooked up. And then after that, she disappeared again. Because he was with Gigi. So the fact that he became that obsessed with her, it was just a little creepy to me. Now, I do think for Shelly to stick with him and then to just disappear for weeks, it was a little heartbreaking. I think for anyone that would be heartbreaking for a guy or a girl because Mouth thought they had something. So I could understand why he was a little heartbroken. But again, he was just obsessed. Like he was really truly obsessed. Gigi was really the only one who really I feel like liked him. Him and the other girl whose name I can't seem to remember. Gigi really liked him, but he kept like dodging her. And I think the reason why he kept dodging her was because he didn't see her as a 10. She wore glasses, they were into the same thing. She wasn't a 10 to him. She wasn't broken, she didn't need to be fixed. So he didn't really like her like that. Because as soon as they got together, they broke up after graduation. And then in season 6, she came back. Oh, he all over her now. She ain't got glasses no more. She don't look like no geek. She all freshed up, no glasses, hair pressed. She look beautiful now. She's a 10 now. Like, do y'all see what I'm saying? Like, as soon as she became a 10, he all over her. He said, fuck his girlfriend. What's her name? Maven? I can't remember that girl name. Millie? I know her name, Millie. Even in season 5 with Millie, when Brooke tried to hook them up, y'all realize that he instantly did not want to be with Millie. He wanted to keep the affair going with his boss because it was exciting. He was always seen as the guy who didn't get the hot girl. So now that his boss, who he believes is a 10, is wanting to keep him as a secret, but he'll get special privileges, he'll have the affair with her. Even though what she was doing was pretty disgusting, for her to negotiate a relationship with Mouth in order for him to have special treatment is disgusting. If this is a man, people would not be thinking this way. Since this is a woman, this is seen as hot because Mouth is getting something out of it. Even though it's disgusting, it is abuse of power. She's in a high position and she's exchanging sex for better opportunities at work. But y'all see what I'm saying? As soon as Mouth saw that and went with it, he didn't want to give Millie a chance until after he called it off with his boss. And then soon after that, his boss got fired because of that situation. But even in season 6, when Gigi came back, he instantly did not want to be with Millie no more. He was giving Gigi all of this attention that he was not giving Millie, which eventually led her to cheat on him because he had Gigi spend the night in their bed, even though they didn't sleep together. Because she was so pretty and because she's a 10 now, you let her spend the night in your bed. It's so insane to me. Like the way y'all get on Lucas, I don't hear anyone breaking this shit down when it comes to mouth. To me, I feel like the more and more I watch the show back now, and I think I might watch the episode today just because I love Once You Heal. The more and more I feel like Mouth is a creep to me. Like the way that he gets instantly obsessed with these girls. Y'all realize the girls that he never became obsessed with was Peyton or Haley, because even though it's funny to me that he never became obsessed with Peyton, because Peyton was damaged. Peyton went through a lot of things in her life, and she kind of just dealt with it. So, but I think Mom didn't see Peyton as a 10. Even though Peyton was beautiful, they are beautiful to me. Peyton, Hillary, Danielle, Bethany, they were all beautiful. Um, Sophia, they were all beautiful to me. But it's just a little funny to me that he only saw, like, I don't think Peyton cared about being popular, but she did love being a cheerleader because her and Brooke both got into it. But Brooke and Rachel kind of carried the popularity persona, so I think that's what really drew him to them, because they were tens. He think in his mind they were tens because they were beautiful and they had the body. And you see what I'm saying? He was just a creep. He just a fit me. Like the way that he instantly became obsessed with them, it's like it was his duty to fix them and to save them. I feel like that's just a pick me to me. Like it's weird to me how obsessed he became with them. Shelly too. Like the fact that she gave you a backstory on how she got pregnant by her boyfriend and then he broke up with her and she had to get an abortion and she went to I think it was a Christian camp. Like the fact that you instantly became obsessed, it's like, dude, you and her had one conversation and then y'all snuck around. Why are you so obsessed? Man. Well, that's all I have. Um, maybe I'll do more stuff like this when it comes to the weekend. Just try to come up with something to talk about. Because I miss talking to you guys. I miss doing my rants. I really do. So enjoy this one because there's probably going to be more and more to come. So thank y'all so much. Love y'all. And see y'all next time.